Oh yeah, savoir, we love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, SODELPA looks at resolving internal issues. Students urged to set clear goals. And Council registers 119 complaints against misleading advertisements.
Studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
The Social Democratic Liberal Party is working on tackling its internal issues ahead of the November annual general meeting. General Secretary EMELE DUITUTURAGA says the party's internal problems have become a major highlight in the public domain and they want to resolve this. The party's headquarters received a number of complaints and grievances from its Western constituency, which were brought to the forefront of SODELPA's management board meeting over the weekend.
The management board will appoint an arbiter, an independent person, to look into that and report back to the board. So that directive came from the management board. So in that sense, it's resolved in the sense that there will be an independent review. Those who have been aggrieved will have fair, justice.
The biggest opposition party is now looking towards November 28th, where its new leader, deputy leader, and party constitution will be finalized ahead of the 2022 general election. A 3-year-old child has died following a motor vehicle accident in Lotoka last night. The incident occurred along Sukanaipalu Road. Police say the victim was crossing the road with his mother when he was hit by a van. It's alleged the 45-year-old driver failed to stop following the accident. The suspect was pursued by another vehicle up the Lotoka police station, where he surrendered himself. An investigation is underway. The road death toll currently stands at 24 compared to 38 for the same period last year. Students are being reminded to have clear goals in mind so they can achieve success in life, says Education Minister Rosie Akbar. Students will return to school tomorrow following a week-long break and officially begin the Term 3 academic year. While teachers are already back in their schools from today, Akbar says the student-free day will allow them to prepare learning materials and classrooms. She's also reminding students yet to redeem their subsidized blue e-transport cards to do so today at any e-ticketing machine. The minister says students who may not be able to redeem their cards today can also do so tomorrow on any bus carrying an e-ticketing machine. She says while Fiji is COVID contained, teachers, parents and all stakeholders must continue practicing good hygiene and other essential precautionary measures. Misleading bait advertising is rife again. The Consumer Council of Fiji confirms they have received 119 complaints in relation to advertised items in the past 9 months. Chief Executive Seema Shandil says some traders are using sale gimmicks to lure customers. Shandil says they have come across cases where advertised items were not available or there were only a few on sale.
What we have seen from the complaints that we have received, there have been instances where actually, customers, as soon as the doors of that retail shop or outlet open, they entered only to be told that the item is not available and it has been sold out. So how can that be possible, right? It is, however, it can be concluded that it's a cunning way to get customers into your shop.
The state in the case against former Fijian Holdings Limited Group Chief Executive Nazab Farid today submitted their proposed admitted facts. Farid is charged with 3 counts of indecent assault. The matter was called this morning for a pre-trial conference with Farid's presence excused. It's alleged he committed the offences against 2 female employees of the FHL group. The court was told that the first prosecution witness is still stuck in South Korea and is checking on the availability of return flights to Fiji. Farid's bail has been extended and a trial date has been set for the 1st of December. The South Pacific Tourism Organization plans to execute innovative strategies to assist Fiji and 4 other regional countries' tourism sector. This is part of the Embassy's economic resilience grants to assist local businesses feeling the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Executive Christopher Cocker says the assistance will enable them to effectively implement post-COVID economic recovery in Fiji with Kiribati, Nauru, Tonga and Tuvalu. The organization adds they also strive to boost tourism market connections with the U.S. market.
The US is an untapped tourist generating market for the Pacific. We haven't done much in the US market in this case and offering great potential for our Pacific Islands. As a tourist source market, the US is amongst our top 5 markets in this case. Hence its importance to recovery for our region.
The Beach, Beats and Eat event at the Shangri-La Fijian Resort has made it possible for all permanent staff to return to work. With the 3rd monthly BBE, the resort has seen a huge number of guests attending the 2-day event. More than 500 people were also booked in over the weekend. The theme of the event was Beach, Beats and Eats, Oktoberfest.
The real importance is sustaining the resort, right? So we're generating cash for the resort, which then in turn will give our staff, our team, enough hours and work so to continue working. So we've been fortunate that we've maintained all of our permanent staff over this period.
Uncertainty during the pandemic is a major challenge facing many businesses. Vision Investments Fiji Limited Chief Executive P.L. Manusingh says the company's goal is to manage the crisis. Manusingh says the results until August are satisfactory, although overall revenue has declined by about 30%. He says their hope is the current demand and income level in the economy is sustained.
The question is, we don't know how long this crisis is going to last. That's the biggest worry for us actually, because if we know how long it's going to last, then we can actually manage the crisis. But if we don't know how long it's going, then we got to plan, but how long can we plan for? So these are the little challenges that we are facing.
Up ahead, Tailevu will work on mental fitness. And Rewa shift focus to courts IDC.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
Bula FM, number 2 and seri.
It's back to the drawing board for the NAITASIRI rugby side after defeating Namosi 25-15 in round 10 of the Skipper Cup on Saturday. Head coach Dr. Ilaitia Tuisese Jr. says their loss to Nandi in round 9 was a good wake-up call as the players were becoming complacent. He says the change in attitude reflected in their performance against Namosi.
There's a lot of work on, so we go back and then look at the footings and then we'll do some cuttings and then we'll work on that. We'll keep working hard because the competition is so hard and so many games left to play.
The Reo football side will head into the court's inter-district championship next week with the aim of building depth in their team. Reo is pooled with some tough teams including Suva, Lautoka and Nasinu. Head coach Marika Rondo says they haven't deviated from their main aim to win the Vodafone Premier League title and will use the IDC as a platform to improve.
We will still address IDC the way we address BOG. We will make sure that we use the IDC as a platform to improve our team for the remaining games after IDC.
A vast pool of potential netters has been identified during the Suva Netball competition so far. A Suva Netball president, Georgina LASAQA, says the skills shown from the minor to the super grades reflects the intensity of the competition.
Teams have come up fighting hard. You can see that teams, no one wants to drop off. We've had 2 sets of extra time, and that goes to show that the teams have come in well prepared. So we had 2 sets in our of drop-offs this week.
The competition begins its 9th round this week, with officials keeping a sharp watch for future talent. Leicester striker Jamie Vardy scored a hat-trick as Manchester City conceded 3 penalties in this morning's 5-2 loss. The win puts the Foxes top of the Premier League. Most of Fiji can expect fine weather for the rest of today. However, tomorrow is expected to see showers moving into the north as a low-pressure trough moves in. That's FBC News Now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. In times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the facts from FBC's TV, radio, and digital news. fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Enjoy your lunch.
Bula FM, number 2
Bula FM, number 2 en seri.